My name is Beth Rankin and I'm an assistant professor of practice at Oregon State University. I primarily work with seniors as coaching them through their internship periods, but I actually teach a variety of classes in the College of Education. So these ideas about childhood trauma have been around for a while. There was a really famous, well-known medical study done in 1998. It was called the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study. So we call them ACEs, these factors that a child could experience in childhood that have long-lasting consequences on their health and well-being. And of the survey, there are things ranging from such as being a child of divorce, which we know that half of the students in your class already are that, to having an incarcerated parent, a parent with mental illness, to being a victim of physical and sexual abuse. These are the types of traumas that teachers are dealing with every single day. Whether they know that information about a student or not, we can still use trauma-informed care principles to care for them in the classroom. And we have to keep in mind that our students are trying to communicate something with their behavior. They're not doing it just to get under your skin. At least most of the time, that is not the case when we see these really big behaviors come up. When a student is approached by a bully in the classroom and starts to shut down and wants to hide and a teacher yells, it makes it so much worse. But really, if you want to think about what is actually happening with that student, what sort of mini crisis are they experiencing in that moment, then there's a way to relate, regulate, and reason. We have to help them regulate that mini crisis that they're having before we can have them listen or reason or get back to class or continue with their math homework. I think that one of the first things to try to identify when you're having a student experiencing a big behavior in the classroom is, what is this trauma response? What are they trying to tell us, or what are they trying to do? Is it a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? Are they trying to fight against something and you need to help them regulate? Are they frozen because they are experiencing some sort of threat or a perceived threat to them? How can we bring them out of that frozen moment by regulating? And so again, it's regulate, relate, and reason. So one of my favorite TED Talks from Rita Pierson is, kids don't learn from people they don't like. I just could sit with that all day and think about it. But that's the relate piece. And so as long as we can regulate the trauma response in the moment, get them to calm down and get centered, then we capitalize on how we've built this relationship and we can relate with you. We know what you're going through now because we've spent all this time together in our classroom, and then we can reason with them. It really is time to do math now, so let's go sit down. So I really think that the best way that a trauma-informed care classroom can be successful is using the team in the school. So that's social workers, counselors, behavior interventionists, making sure that everyone is on the same page. And I think that one of the pushbacks we get from our teachers is that we're so busy all the time. But really having all of these people on the same page is for the benefit of the student in the end, the benefit of you in your classroom as well. So really taking the time to make those connections with staff in the building is really useful. Even students who don't come from traumatic backgrounds need to be regulated every now and again. They still can be too excitable about something, or something can be stressful even without trauma. So there's still all of those regulation pieces that we do with mindfulness and fidgets and calm corners and breathing exercises that benefit all students. Like I was talking about frequent breaks. Frequent breaks benefit all students. I had a student teacher in the past ask, well, I don't know who needs a fidget. Like, everybody needs a fidget. There's nothing wrong with giving everybody a fidget. If that's what they need, then yeah, I think that there's a lot of things that trickle over to trauma-informed care practices are just good classroom practices. Hi, this is Beth Rankin. I hope you'll join me for part 2 of this video series, where we'll look at how Oregon State students are learning techniques to build their own trauma-informed classrooms.